Hello, welcome to this video. I'm here today with Christopher Carvalho in the town of Heilbronn in Germany. And Christopher is going to give us some top tips to help you get your music heard. So the first tip, Spotify playlists.
Yeah, so the fastest way to probably get your music heard, I reckon, actually, by researching various Spotify playlists made by curators, bloggers, everyday people as well, and just contacting them. You might find their contact details in the description of the playlist, or you might just find them by name on social media and just be like, hey, you know, don't be weird or spammy about it. Just be like, hey, just wondering if you're accepting music submissions at the moment. This is literally how I do it. Hey there, just wondering if you're accepting music submissions at the moment. I discovered your playlist and I think my music might be a good fit for your audience. Let me know. That sort of thing.
Yeah, so on Spotify playlists you get different moods,
artists
genres, similar to genres.
Yeah, or just themes in general. Yeah, absolutely.
So obviously if you do heavy metal, probably don't contact the
playlist. Yeah, the meditation music playlist or something.
So you want to find the right playlist for your music and contact them. Don't just spam everyone.
Yeah, because you're actually wasting your own time by doing that, because they're just going to go, okay, and maybe even block you, you know, because you just wasted their time. Yeah.
So the second tip you said to me before was creating videos, music videos for maybe YouTube or Facebook.
I mean, I don't have to tell really anyone how important video is. I mean, so much of internet traffic is video, is increasingly going to be video.
Yeah, YouTube's the second biggest search engine in the world.
After its parent company, Google.
After Google,
so absolutely. I think people forget about YouTube. Like music artists, you know, we get bogged down with the music platforms, but actually YouTube, at least there was an article like a couple of years ago saying more music is consumed on YouTube than anything. Yeah. But you have to get it, you know, in a video format to get it on YouTube. And you also have an opportunity to be more creative and connect directly with your audience and make content that isn't just a music, maybe just a vlog or tutorials or whatever. Yeah,
just like watching videos.
Yeah, absolutely.
They just love watching music videos.
Yeah. And every video clip has an audio track on it. Yeah, might as well be you on your music.
I don't think it has to be a super high production, drones everywhere music video. No. It could be, like you said, just maybe a collection of photos, a vlog. Yeah. Maybe even just one of those music visualizers.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, whatever works for you, but get into video and be creative, for sure.
So tip number 3, Christopher, you said was Instagram stickers and adding them to your story.
So
could you just explain what Instagram stickers are to
start
with?
Right. So for some reason, like nearly no one talks about this, but
I don't really know what Instagram stickers are.
Right. So basically, so I'm a Tool fan, I'm a Metallica fan, right? But let's say I'm just videoing something, like as a person, like not a music person, just as a person. And I film something and I'm like, oh, Tool's new song will be like a really cool soundtrack to this piece of footage that I've just created. In Instagram, you can go to the stickers. So the stickers are where like you add hashtags, add locations. You know those little objects? There's a music one. And if you go to the music, you can open up a library and search for the song that you want to add to it and just add the song like to the story that you've created on Instagram. It's also supported on Facebook. So you can now actually add music to your Facebook profile. Like fans of yours.
Like MySpace used to be.
Like MySpace used to be. So like fans of yours can like really, like they can add your music to their profile if they identify with it in some way, just like we used to do with MySpace. However, you need to make sure that your distribution company actually supports that, and that's huge. I know CD Baby do, I'm pretty sure TuneCore do as well. It's only because I've dealt with those companies, but definitely make sure that, that they support that, because you might be missing out on some opportunity there for your fans to add your music to their content. So they become the curators of your music, which is really, really cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might get a few super fans.
Exactly, who just, exactly. If you have 10 super fans who are always using their stickers on their stories, and their stories are viewed by like 100 to 150 people per day, that's, 1,000, 1,500 people per day who are seeing or hearing your music. And that's how stuff happens in music, you know? At the end of the day, people need to hear it. And the sticker is there, they can click on it and know the artist and follow through. So, yeah, I mean, obviously you can, as an artist, actually add that stuff to your story content as well.
Okay, so the next tip is don't spam.
Yeah, so The spam thing is
annoying.
Yeah, I mean, spamming me your music. So when we say spam, it's like unsolicited content, isn't it? It's like if I just spammed you a link, I didn't even say hello, that's unsolicited content. You didn't want it.
Yeah.
And it just makes a bad impression of me if I do that to you.
We both run Facebook groups, and all the time I see people spamming their music. Check this out. No content, got context, just spam, links, and it's just delete, maybe even deleting the block if they constantly do it. It's just,
I mean,
doesn't work.
It's annoying. It's the quickest way for me to never ever listen to your music. And it's a waste of your time as well, because it's just not effective. I mean, I also get I get unsolicited tags in posts. Like,
oh yeah, I get that.
You know that,
You
right?
tagged Thomas George, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, someone tagged you.
No, don't know who this is. Why am I tagged?
Yeah, it's so annoying. And people think that I'm just going to support it. I mean, when my clients do it, I'm like, hell yeah, because I'm invested in that project. I'm a part of it.
Random person.
No, absolutely. They're going to get blocked. So don't do that. But the difference between content and spam is like, content is solicited. Like if you put it in an environment that wants that content, even though it's the same content as the spam, it's solicited, it's wanted. So that's a good thing.
If someone posts, let me hear your new mixes, let me hear some new songs today, mix feedback, etc., fine. But when it's just random spam, no.
Exactly. I mean, if you make indie pop and you send it to an indie pop blog, it's not spam. They might get hundreds of those a day, but it's not spam because they're in the business of receiving that music. So, yeah, don't spam. It's annoying. It's a waste of your time.
The next tip is collaborate with people on a similar level to you or with a similar audience.
Yeah, sure. So let's say we're both artists. Let's say we each have, 100 die-hard super fans each. We collaborate on a project, and then we share audiences. Like, let's say, for example, you have 20 superfans who are already aware of me. I have 20 superfans who are already aware of you. But the 80 on each side that weren't aware are going to become aware and might follow through to each of us. Yeah. And then our audience basically multiplies at that point. So it's a really, really good way. I mean, you don't
if it's the right fit.
If it's the right fit.
Lou Reed and Metallica, maybe not so much.
Exactly.
But
because that was the thing, wasn't it? You got to do it right. Like you have to do it artistically. Yeah. And don't just do it to cross-pollinate. Don't just do it to share an audience, because that could come across as spammy. And you don't have to do it with people who are like 10 times as big as you. Like I said, like he's got 80 fans who don't know about me. I've got 80 fans that don't know about him. We both benefit from that, even though we're on the same level. Like collaborate with other people, but don't only rely on that, because at some point I think that gets quite easily commoditized, but definitely work on your own thing, but collaborate with other people anyway, for other reasons as well, not just sharing each other's audiences.
And the next tip is to promote your music ahead of the release.
Yeah, so this is quite huge actually. I think a lot of new artists don't do this, mostly because they might be unorganized and never gone through the distribution process before, and that's understandable. But when I work with a client, we work like at least 2 months ahead of time. Like we set the release date, we also set up the distribution for admin reasons and all of that stuff. And then we start promoting, and that can be any sort of content that kind of makes sense to you as an artist, but you need to be like talking about the release. In maybe little videos where you're documenting the part of the process. Oh, I'm just uploading my masters to distribution now. It's going to come out in 4 weeks. You post the artwork and say, oh, pre-save or pre-order the album now. It's coming out on here. And you start gradually telling the story of the album or of the single and why you're making it. And you're building up that hype. You're building up some excitement towards that release.
Small clips of the songs.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Some of the songs,
as long as you don't teasers. As long as you don't give the full thing away, and you're just teasing it along the way, like it makes you look good as well. It makes you look really professional. It makes you look like you've got it all together, and you know what you're doing. Because record labels have done this for years.
Like Hollywood would always do it. Release a trailer, build up hype, release trailer 2, build up hype, putting the posters everywhere. So you can always do that with your music as well.
One thing that I was doing recently for an album is we made a video clip as an album sampler, had different clips from different songs in the album sampler, and video content was actually just the album artwork, and it said album sampler coming out whatever day it was. And then I actually promoted that using Facebook ads to a specific audience. That's
you want to build up the hype as well, get people excited.
Just get people excited.
It's like when you found out about the new Tool album coming out. How excited were you?
Oh my! I mean, that was a really good release strategy. I mean, they were kind of weird because they actually hadn't had their catalog on streaming platforms until like a month before they released the new album. Because after a while, they're like, well, let's actually upload everything before the album comes out and build that into the release strategy. And it just built up hype, I think they actually got to like the top 100 artists list on Billboard before the album came out, which is 13 years after the last album, just because they were really, really good. They also have a very, very strong cult following. Yeah. And by the time the album came out, they were actually #1 artist on Billboard. #1 progressive heavy metal band.
There you go.
Amazing. So they were very creative about that, just building up hype. Talk to your friends about it. Just start circulating the word. Start telling people that you're doing this and just giving them little snippets, and just telling the story. The storytelling part is really, really critical because that's what captures people's imagination. And that is actually what social media is for. Social media is for sharing each other's stories, like sharing what's going on in your life, like having babies, getting married and all of that stuff. It's all storytelling, really. So that's how you should do it.
Okay, and the next tip is give your music out for free to influencers.
Yeah, so what I mean by that is like an influencer, in the way that I use the term, is basically anyone who makes content and has influence on a particular market. These people might just be Instagrammers, like influencers on Instagram, or they might be YouTubers. Now, all of these people need music, because they add music to their content, to their videos and what have you. And you have music. Like in that scenario, the supply and demand is kind of in your favor, like, because they need music.
I think a lot of the time people want kind of a custom-made song as well, like something unique.
Right.
Like you can get music on Audio Jungle or other platforms, and you also have to pay for that music.
Yeah.
And maybe 1,000 other people have used that song.
Exactly.
There's songs I hear all the time that you've seen on Audio Jungle, loads of different places. But if you can kind of make a custom song for that, or not many other people have used your song yet, and you give it to that influencer, they kind of feel special rather than just having the same Audio Jungle, same song over and over again.
Exactly. So if you find an Instagram influencer whose audience kind of fits your audience, and let's say they have like 5,000 fans, super fans of their content, they need music. You go, hey, look, I've got this song. I think it's a good fit. I'll give it to you for free. Just like tag me in it. Just give me the credit for that song, and then you get some traction as well to your profile. You start putting out more content, and you build fans with them. So you think of it as a partnership. You're giving them some content, they're giving you their fans as well, and you just build it from there. So that's a really, really good way. They don't have to pay for the music, and you get new fans.
They might credit you at the end of the video as well. For example, Casey Neistat credits the music at the end. So
Casey
could be like
lifestyle
vloggers or other artists, or
Vloggers are a huge one. Vloggers on YouTube. Obviously, don't go for Casey Neistat and the big guys if you don't have a big following, because they're just going to be harder to get. But like 100, like on any given day, 10 to 50 people hearing you for the first time and becoming aware of you is a good day. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be huge.
So give your music out for free to influencers if you can.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the next step is a big one, which is invest in yourself, your brand, and your product.
Yeah, so when it comes to like investing in your brand, that means investing in your artwork, investing in your Facebook page and the cover art. All of this stuff, like, it's important. If people see it, it's important. Yeah. You want to make an impression. Like, that's what all of this is about. And you want to show the world that you are a serious, committed artist. You're not just doing this on the side. Like, if you just upload a selfie with your cat or whatever, and that's your artist thing, you don't look serious. People aren't going to take you seriously. And bloggers, curators, industry people, they're not going to take you seriously either when you pitch them. So if you're pitching your stuff to like bloggers and whatever, they're going to look at your stuff, like, because they're not going to put someone on who isn't going to be around in a year's time. And if you're not investing in photo shoots, investing in good artwork, like, they're not going to take you seriously, and they're not going to put you on because they don't think you're going to be here in a year's time. you know.
It just makes it look a lot more high quality and more professional if you have a good portrait photo, a good profile, a well-made website, loads of stuff like that.
Absolutely, well-made website. Like, I actually get that question quite a lot. Chris, do I need a website?
Yep.
A lot of artists don't do it. I'm like, well, that's why you should.
Yeah.
Because you want to show people, I've invested in a website, I've invested in photography, I've invested in video.
People are going to Google you, and you want to be on the whole first page, just your products.
Yeah.
Your
I
music,
mean, if you can help it, for sure. Like, the more you do of that, the more that's going to make a difference. But even if it's just your Facebook page and a blogger looks at your Facebook page, it's not so important how many likes you have. It's just like, wow, okay, these people are committed because they've obviously invested in their stuff. And they think about that subconsciously and consciously. It's that first impression, and you're like, okay, cool, this guy's serious. I'm going to put him on because I think in a year's time, I'm going to be seen as the guy who put them on.
Yeah, the guy who discovered it.
Yeah, the OG. Yeah. That's why the industry is so obsessed with getting premieres on blogs, because everyone who wants to be the guy who discovered them, because then they're the OG of that artist, you know. So it's very, very important that you do that. Make an impression. That's it.
Cool. So these are some top tips about getting your music heard with Christopher Carvalho. Hope you find this video useful. If you'd like to see some more videos from Christopher, check out the link in the description below. If you like this video, boom, give it a like. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to this channel. And yeah, we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for watching.